Have you noticed this? It feels like there's this growing idea that you need to be some kind of elite prompts engineer now just to talk to an AI effectively.
Oh, totally. It's like the new barrier to entry, isn't it? People think, oh man, I got to write these epic 500-word novels or, shell out cash for some course to learn the secret handshake.
But that's just well, it's the big mistake we want to clear up today. Turns out, often the absolute best way to get a killer prompt is just letting the AI write it for you.
It's the ultimate life hack for AI, and it doesn't take long to learn, maybe 15 minutes. So today we're diving deep into these non-technical shortcuts, making the AI do the hard setup work. No jargon, promise, just stuff you can actually use.
Okay, so first, we'll look at why just tossing a simple one-liner at the AI often, well, falls flat. And we absolutely need to define what a system prompt is. Beat. That's like the AI's job description.
Yeah. Then we'll unpack 4 different methods. There's this super simple just ask it method. Then there's letting the AI interview you, which is cool for complex stuff. We'll touch on optimizer tools, some hidden gems there. And finally, how to teach it by showing examples. Goal is better results, less headache.
Right. So let's start with that common failure point. You go online, you see someone post the perfect prompt, and it looks like they just, I don't know, channeled it instantly.
Yeah, that's classic survivorship bias. But for prompts, you're only seeing the shiny finished product. You don't see the 20 field attempts, the slow tweaking, adding a bit here, taking away a bit there, that whole messy process.
The real insight then is starting small. It's kind of like building with Lego blocks, maybe. You add one little instruction, you test it out, see if it works, then you add the next one.
Exactly. Because if you throw 10 different rules into one prompt right at the start, and the output is garbage, you got no clue which of those 10 things messed it up. It's just impossible to fix. Need that simplicity, that structure.
And that structure really starts that term you mentioned, the system prompt. Sounds a bit technical, but it's key.
Think of it like this. The AI is an actor you just hired. The normal prompt is the script for today's scene, the specific task you want done right now, like tell me a joke. The system prompt, though, that's the actor's character sheet. It's fixed. It tells them who they are, what their overall role is, the hard rules they always follow. Beat. It's their core identity for the whole play.
That chef analogy from the sources nails it. You're hiring a chef, that's the AI. You set the system prompt up front. Okay, you're an Italian chef, strict vegetarian only. And listen, never use garlic. Ever.
Right. So now when you give the normal prompt, maybe just what's for dinner, the AI chef has to answer within those rules.
Yeah.
You get a great vegetarian, garlic-free Italian suggestion. That fixed guide does all the work.
Okay, so where do you, the listener, actually find this setting? Is it buried somewhere complicated?
No, not usually. It's generally in the main settings or setup area. In ChatGPT, look for custom instructions. For the bigger models, if you use their developer platforms like OpenAI platform or Anthropic console, it's right there waiting for you.
So if the system prompt is that fixed long-term role, what's the biggest risk if someone just skips that step? If they don't give the AI its role?
Well, the AI might just go off the rails, suggest things totally outside what you need.
Like suggesting a steak recipe when you wanted that vegetarian pasta. Okay, so we know we need this fixed identity, this system prompt. How do we get the AI to write a good one for us? Sounds like we need a way to choose our approach.
Yeah, there's a sort of decision matrix. First up, the easiest one, the simple method. This is perfect for basic, pretty clear tasks. You need a quick email drafted, fine, when the stakes aren't super high.
And the opposite end.
That's the complex method, what we call the reverse interview. Use this when the task is really important, like maybe drafting a business plan. Or, crucially, when you kind of know what you want, but you're not totally sure what details the AI actually needs from you to do a good job.
And squeezed in the middle.
Method 3, the optimizer tools. These are great for taking a prompt you've already written, one that maybe sort of works but is messy, and just cleaning it up, making it more efficient.
Got it. Let's dig into method 1 first. Just ask the AI to write its own system prompt. Sounds like the quickest win if your goal is clear.
It is, yeah. But you got to ask the right way. There's a template that works really well. You basically say, hey, AI, I want you to create a system prompt for model name, like GPT-4. My goal is to describe your task clearly. Can you research the best ways to prompt for this as of put today's date? Then write me that system prompt.
Okay, hold on. Why specify the model, like GPT-4 versus Claude 3? Does it make that much difference?
It actually does.
Yeah.
Different models have their own little quirks, their own best practices for how they like instructions. Telling it the model lets it tap into its specific internal knowledge base for that engine. You get better advice.
And the date. Why add today's date?
That's super important because prompting techniques change fast. What was best practice 6 months ago might be outdated now. Putting the date forces it to use the very latest information it has.
Right, keeps it fresh. Okay, the coffee shop example in the sources showed this well. Asking simply resulted in a prompt that defined the AI's role. Okay, you're a social media copywriter. It set the brand voice be warm, authentic, and added rules. Keep captions short, use hashtags, no jargon.
Yeah, it builds that structure automatically.
It even included a line like, avoid cliches such as best coffee in town. I wonder, though, why get that specific? Isn't the AI supposed to be creative? Aren't we boxing it in too much?
It's about guiding the creativity. Specific constraints like that actually help it sound more authentic, less like generic marketing fluff that screams, AI wrote this. It avoids the cliches everyone else uses.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's shift gears to the high-stakes stuff. Method 2. The reverse AI interview. This is for when it's critical, or maybe the idea is still a bit fuzzy in your own head.
Exactly. Here, you tell the AI to interview you, to ask questions until it fully gets what you need. But here's the absolute key instruction you must give it. Tell the AI to ask only one question at a time.
Ah, okay. Because otherwise...
Otherwise, you get hit with a wall of text, like 5 questions bundled together, and it just kills the conversation.
Yes.
It's overwhelming. Forcing it to go one question, then you answer the next question. That lets the understanding build step by step.
That feels really useful.
It's got 2 big benefits. First, obviously the AI gets super specific details about your situation. Second, it actually helps you get clearer on what you want. Sometimes you don't fully know until the AI asks that one perfect question you hadn't considered.
You know, I'll admit, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself, especially when starting a big new project. Just nailing down that initial scope, getting it really defined before the AI starts generating, that can be genuinely tricky.
Oh, for sure. The study tutor example illustrates this perfectly. The AI asks something broad first, like, okay, what grade level and subject? You answer. Then it narrows down. Got it. What's the preferred learning style? Visuals, reading, hands-on practice. It keeps digging until it knows the real goal. Are we just trying to pass the test, or do we want, like, deep understanding?
Okay, let's jump ahead slightly to method 4 for a sec, because it feels related to getting the feel right. Method 4 is improve with examples.
Yeah, this is technically called few-shot prompting. Fancy name, simple idea. You just give the AI a couple of good examples of what you want it to do. You show it the pattern.
Like the new employee analogy again. You wouldn't just say, hey, write professional emails. You'd probably show them 2 or 3 emails that are perfect and say, make it sound like this.
Exactly that. So if you want the AI to say, turn messy notes into polished sentences, you give it a few pairs. Here's a messy note, and here's the professional sentence I want. It learns the style, the tone, the formatting, just from those examples.
So follow-up question then. If the AI's tone is just off, maybe too formal or too robotic, is using method 4, giving it examples, usually the fastest way to fix that? Faster than trying to write more rules in the system prompt.
Oh, absolutely. Examples teach tone and style way faster and more effectively than trying to describe it abstractly with rules alone. Show, don't just tell.
Okay, looping back to method 3 then. Using those free prompt optimizer tools, this is for when you've got a prompt, maybe it kind of works, but it's just messy.
Right, and these tools are often built right into the AI platforms themselves.
Mm-hmm.
OpenAI has its playground, which you find at platform.OpenAI.com. And the trick here is you can actually use method 1 inside the playground. You feed it your messy prompt and ask it to optimize it.
Interesting. So I take my kind of clunky prompt, something like, plan healthy meals for the week, no fish. I put that into the playground, and then I asked GPT-4 to rewrite that prompt using its own best practices. What kind of changes would I typically see?
You'll see much better structure. The AI will likely add clear sections using things called delimiters, often just a hash symbol, hashtag to separate different parts of the instruction. It'll make vague terms specific, like changing healthy to maybe focus on lean protein and whole grains.
And I noticed in the source material, it often adds instructions about the output format too, like present the answer as a table.
Yes, that's huge for consistency. It tells the AI exactly how you want the information back.
Whoa. Okay, imagine the kind of precision you can get when you start telling it how to structure the output, like use a table or use these specific hashtag section markers. That feels like a big step up in control.
It really is. It's about making communication with the AI super clear, which leads to way better, more reliable results, especially if you're doing it often.
Now, Anthropic's platform, the workbench for Claude, it does something similar, but it uses XML tags. Things like text and instruction instead of hashtags. Why the difference?
It's basically just a different formatting convention they prefer. Those tags, like text, serve the same purpose. They help Claude clearly separate your instructions from the actual content or context you provide. It just helps the model organize the input better and avoids confusion. Think of them like labeled folders for the AI's brain. Mid-roll sponsor read placeholder.
All right, so we've got these methods for creating great system prompts, but you mentioned testing. A prompt isn't really done once the AI writes it, is it?
No way. You absolutely have to test its durability, its robustness.
Hmm.
A truly good prompt needs to work across a few different but related tasks. So take that coffee shop prompt we talked about.
Okay.
Don't just test it with one type of post. Try it for a cheerful, happy Monday latte post. Then try it for something more formal, like announcing an early closing time. And maybe try something a bit quirky or funny, like a post about a customer who dramatically dropped their coffee. See if it handles all three scenarios well.
And if it fails one of those tests, say the early closing post sounds way too casual.
Then you tweak the rules in the system prompt. You might add a line like, adjust tone based on the seriousness of the message. Or you could even use all cap PS for really crucial rules like, important, keep all social media posts under 50 words. Don't be afraid to emphasize.
And then, once it passes the stress tests.
Then you save it.
Mm.
Seriously, start building your own prompt library. Doesn't need to be fancy. A simple text file or note is fine. Just give each prompt a clear name, maybe note its goal, and then paste in the full system prompt text that you know works. This will save you so much time later.
Okay, let's tackle the troubleshooting. What are the most common headaches people run into when a prompt isn't quite working, and what are the quick fixes? First big one. The AI just seems to ignore a rule you gave it.
Ah, the classic. Quick fix. Try moving that specific rule to the very end of your system prompt. Models often pay extra attention to the last instruction they read. Worth a shot.
Okay. Problem two, the output format is all over the place. Sometimes it's a list, sometimes it's a paragraph, sometimes it's something else.
Inconsistency. Yeah, the fix here is usually just being hyper-specific in your prompt. Don't just say, make a list. Say, provide the answer as a bulleted list. Ensure each bullet point starts with a capital letter and ends with a period. And remember method 4, giving examples. That's really powerful for teaching specific formatting.
Got it. And the third common one, the AI just sounds like a robot. Stiff, unnatural, no personality.
Right, the robot voice problem.
Hmm.
The fix is defining the desired tone much more clearly than just saying, be friendly. Get really granular. Think about how a helpful friend talks. So you might add instructions like, write in a warm, encouraging tone like a helpful friend offering advice. Use simple, everyday words. Avoid jargon. Limit emojis to maybe one per response. Treat it like giving stage directions to an actor.
So putting it all together in a workflow, let's use that vocabulary tutor example again. You'd maybe start with method 1, the simple ask, right? Make me a prompt for a vocabulary tutor.
Yep. Then you test it, and maybe you find, oh, the words it's giving me are way too simple.
So then you'd maybe use method 4, you'd add a few examples into the system prompt showing the kind of words you want, say B2 level vocabulary words.
Exactly. Add those examples, test it again. Oh, perfect. Now it's giving challenging but appropriate words. Then you save that finished, tested prompt to your library. It's that loop. Ask, create, test, adjust, bash, test, Dave.
Okay, so wrapping things up, the big idea here, the main thing we hope you take away today is this. You really don't need to become some kind of coding wizard or prompt engineer in the complex sense. That's kind of the old way of thinking.
Yeah, the real shortcut, the smarter way, is learning how to guide the AI to define its own best identity, how to get it to write the most effective instructions for itself based on your goal.
And we've walked through 4 pretty clear methods to do that. You can simply ask the AI, you can let the AI interview you for complex things, you can use those built-in optimizer tools, or you can teach it by showing examples.
The underlying principle for all of them, though, is start simple, test it, iterate. And remember that structure, how you organize the prompt, is often just as important as the content itself. Beat. Which makes you wonder, since these AI models are getting so much better at understanding how we prompt them, what happens when the models start proactively suggesting which of these 4 methods you should use for the specific thing you're trying to achieve? Like, the AI itself becomes your prompt strategy coach.
Ooh, that's a really interesting thought for the future. Definitely something to explore another time. But for now, the challenge to you, the listener, is this. Just pick one method we talked about today. Maybe the simple ask if you have a clear goal, or try the reverse interview if you're feeling adventurous. And just try creating one really solid, durable system prompt for something you do regularly.
Yeah, give it a go. See what a difference having that clear AI-generated structure makes to your results. Bet you'll be surprised.
Outro music.